What, you didn't think I was gonna do it? Roll the intro. What? Oh, we don't have an intro? So, when this One Marvelous Scene thing started, I was kind of blown away by about 9 channels I was subscribed to uploading the same types of videos all at once. I would have been impressed if the history YouTubers hadn't just done Project Odysseus a few months back. Shout out Kogito. I was honestly jealous at first that I wasn't on the level to be considered for this project, but then I heard those glorious words.
And once you're done with those, make your own. What scene do you think is interesting? Once you make one, tweet it to me at NandoVMovies, and I'll put it on our playlist.
So, immediately, I wanted in. The only problem was, I was working on my first ever solo edited video, and that took a really long time. But, now that video is not only out, but also a catastrophic failure. So, I'm ready to talk about one of my favorite scenes in the MCU. Now, to be honest, when looking through the incredibly extensive playlist, I was really surprised to see how little love Doctor Strange was getting. Let me paint a picture for you. It was 2016, I had seen every Marvel movie on premiere night since Ultron. I had seen the other ones too, just not on the premiere. I always took the girl I was dating at the time to the premiere with me as sort of a litmus test for whether or not they were the kind of girl I wanted to date. So, my girlfriend and I had just broken up, and I had nobody to go with me. And I already had my tickets. So what did I do? Looking for someone to watch Doctor Strange. Damn it. S-T-R-A-N-G-E. Strange with me. Smiley face. Eggplant emoji. A couple swipes later, and nothing. So, I went alone. And honestly, that made for the best MCU experience I had had so far. I had nobody to tell about how I got the comic book references, nobody to share my excitement with about the scenes or performances, only myself. And I was able to focus on the whole thing with nothing but my thoughts. And so, Doctor Strange became my favorite Marvel movie up to that point. And why not? It was great. The effects were colorful and incredible and really unprecedented in an MCU movie so far, since this was the first time they were really taking a chance with the more weird comic book stuff like Dormammu and magic, and it worked brilliantly. So I was really surprised to only find one video essay on Doctor Strange in the whole playlist. The one about the death of the Ancient One by, shit, I really gotta look this up. Alchemax. Okay, the one by Alchemax. It's good. Go check it out. Ow. And I was happy. Originally, I was thinking of what other scenes I might have to pick as backups, but it didn't come to that. I was able to pick my favorite scene from my favorite movie and not be competing with anyone for it. Alright, well, it's in the title. You know what it is. The scene that defined the entire marketing campaign for this movie when it came out.
Teach me.
Now, it isn't the incredible array of constantly changing effects in the scene that make me love it so much, although that definitely helps. No, this scene is my favorite because of the character moment it creates and how it builds so brilliantly on everything we've learned about Stephen Strange up to this point with just 2 words. So, what have we learned about Stephen Strange up to this point? He's arrogant, but he deserves to be because he's always been the smartest guy in the room. He's an absolutely brilliant doctor, but not just that. He has an unbelievably photographic memory and has an enormous lexicon of what his coworkers call useless information in his brain, which he uses to impress people more than he already can by, I don't know, being the best neurosurgeon on the planet. He's basically a mixture of Tony Stark and House at the beginning of the movie. And more so at the middle of the movie because of the handicap. He's like Tony Stark House. Tony House Stark. No. Every scene in the beginning of the movie is meant to show us not only how brilliant he is, but how much better he not only thinks he is, but knows he is than everyone else around him. He's having surgical assistants challenge him to name the years obscure songs came out while performing advanced brain surgery. He proves an ER doctor to be incredibly wrong and saves a man's life in only a few seconds. Right after that, he demeans his ex-girlfriend, and his idea of a date is to take her to a talk he's giving where he's going to be receiving an award. He's incredibly self-centered and wants desperately for everyone to know how much better he is than them in every respect. He drives an incredibly expensive supercar and literally drives around people to pass them that aren't going fast enough for him, representing how he sees himself as more important and better than them. And the reason he destroys his hands in the first place is that he was looking at potential patients to take on his tablet while driving so recklessly. Not only that, he turns down cases not because he thinks they're beneath him, but because he thinks he can't cure the patients and doesn't want to hurt his perfect surgical record. This guy is all about image and what other people think of him. Even after the accident, the first thing he says when being told about the surgery done to save what was left of his hands is,
"I could have done better."
In physical therapy, he refers to his therapist, whose job it is to help him get better, only as
Bachelor's degree.
And I could keep going, but by the time Steven decides to go to Kathmandu, he's almost completely changed. His usually perfect and clean appearance is replaced with his wild, unkempt hair and beard. He's out of money and has exhausted every possible option, spending his very last dollar to try and chase a miracle cure on the other side of the world. When he meets the Ancient One, he has to show her that he thinks he understands what she's talking about by using medical jargon to reword or answer everything she says. And when she starts referencing chakras and mysticism, he absolutely breaks down and starts to berate and belittle her. And we see his arrogance coming back in full force. And then, in 1 second,
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
Teach me.
his transformation is complete. For the first time, Strange admits that he isn't the smartest person in the room. For the first time, he's humbled, literally on his knees, realizing his ignorance and begging to learn from someone else. In an instant, he goes from a ranting, arrogant, self-centered genius to what we were all able to see he really was all along. A desperate man with no idea of what to do. He goes from not believing in anything but what he already knows to,
There are witches, I've no doubt, in that moment. There's witches. That's how easy it was to flip me out.
As a quick aside, rewatching this movie after seeing Endgame and knowing how much the Ancient One knew about Strange ahead of time really changes the way you view it. You see her giving him extra attention as he trains, her fight clubbing him by throwing him out while knowing the whole time he would wait because he needed to learn and was desperate. Every scene changes because you realize this was meant to happen, and the Ancient One does a great job of hiding the fact that she knew that he would have to become Sorcerer Supreme and that he would, in her own words, become the best of them. I'm really looking forward to rewatching all the movies now, knowing where everything ends up, because I'm sure I'll notice a ton of things I wouldn't have previously. God, this series is great. Okay, back to the video. Wait. If you're enjoying the video, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe? It really helps me out. Right. That's it, I promise. Here we go. The cinematography of the scene even mirrors Strange's realization. Following him waking up in the hospital, the camera changes to shaky handycam style, mirroring the tremors of his hands and the breakdown of his entire life. The moment the Ancient One punches the fucking ghost out of him, the camera becomes still and follows a straight path for just a second. Of course, right after, when Strange still doubts her, he continues using medical jargon to try and seem like he's the smartest guy in the room again, asking,
What's in that tea? Psilocybin?
Psilocybin is magic mushrooms. And the camera returns to its previously shaky nature. Following that, when the Ancient One shoots him into his crazy, beautiful, colorful trip through the multiverse, of course, the camera and perspective go wild, doing all sorts of crazy things, including making reference to the motifs of the film and his life so far, showing scenes of millions of hands consuming him, references to time, one of the biggest motifs in this film, and in Hamilton. Oh, you didn't think I was going to do a Hamilton reference in this video? You don't know Medium D speaks! And him coming out of his own eye, alluding to his perspective being radically changed. And there's even a mushroom-like geometric shape at one point, which I think seems to reference his question of the Ancient One if she dosed him with shrooms. But that could just be me. And when he finally crashes back down, we get that beautiful, humbling moment. Those two words that say so much about how much this character has grown in so little time.
Teach me.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope it isn't too late to get put on the playlist, but even if it is, it's okay. Watching the movie again after Endgame was great. I'm definitely planning to try and rewatch all the movies in order while Endgame is still in theaters, and then obviously go see Endgame to finish it all up. Actually, you know what? If you guys would like to see me maybe do some sort of video or video series where I talk about all the movies in light of the full Infinity Saga being done, I'd be totally down. Just let me know in the comments. Let's see when this video comes out, hopefully soon, and I'm hoping I can keep up this upload schedule, if that's what you can call it. I have a ton of stuff planned, so definitely stick with me and turn on notifications because a lot of people have been telling me that the last video didn't show up in their subscriptions for some reason. Thanks, YouTube. Way to help us little channels out. Alright, thanks again. Like, subscribe, and share this. Follow us on Twitter at MediumDSpeak, same name as the channel. You have no excuse. And yeah, more videos are for real actually coming